Check the wheel.
Roughly, you know what? Oh, I thought you did it at Dollar General. You know they're going out of business. Dollar General.
Yeah, they had a sign up today. I was surprised.
Which one?
Yeah.
The one in Susanville.
Stand in line for 3 hours.
What was that?
10 minutes of shopping and stand in line for 3 hours.
That's a good plan. I'll let you go. What was going on? Is one of the Dollar General's closing?
Yeah, it says store closing on the outside of it.
There's like 250 of them closing overall. Which one? The Janesville or the
The Susanville one.
The
I don't.
Susanville one.
I can see how that happens because I don't have a speaker on. Because
Good, then I won't say Amanda's terrible. She's an awful person. Sorry.
because we have Walmart in town. We have Dollar Tree.
Right across the street.
You ain't getting a bargain at Dollar General. So Janesville and Doyle I could see doing well, but not in town. So
I think you're right.
I think that was what's going on. What, did you have a long party or what? St. Patrick's Day party?
No, I had 2 meetings today, including one for Food Hub grant that hopefully hits.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All over the place. So
Cool.
saw your morning thing too. I wasn't able to make. I had a different meeting, so I saw the
You
board
can
of
still go
supervisors.
back and watch it.
I did. I watched.
Good.
So far, just the
Yeah,
public
that's the
comments.
benefit. It's like, oh, if you can't make it, go back and watch it.
Hopefully, and if I watch it, that gets at some point to you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not that that's why you're doing it. but
No.
You got
No.
some nice stuff here that you had to spend money on. So.
I'll try.
Thank
I
you.
don't know. All right. Yeah, if there's any other meetings, like, I'll go do them.
Peter, what's going on? I'm going to talk about the enemy over there.
Sam, you better knock it off.
Oh, I see.
No,
that's
it's
what she is.
Lassen County Unfiltered, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere?
I'm everywhere. But you know what? He's everywhere. I can't keep up with him. I'm just going to follow him around town and go to all the meetings that he goes to.
He's got the know.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, the city hasn't made so thing that
What about Creed?
I could do that.
I mean, I'll try to do what he says. I don't try not to. But I'll let you know.
Yeah, and that was only joking.
I know. It's the
We've become good buddies.
it's the competitive cooperative as always.
There ain't no competition, trust me.
It'll take a while before we got to worry about that, right?
Sam, they keep talking me through these meetings. Oh, you did. I don't know, did anybody call Mike Skinner, see he's gonna come up here and build his tractor? Well, you know that Kevin Harvick, NASCAR, he just took over the weekend. County Speedway and turned it into a big huge. And then Kyle Larson and him, right? He bought cheap one.
Oh, really?
We need one of those local, the big NASCAR guys to move Zoo.
Okay, well, we're not, they're definitely not.
Can somebody in the back corner say something so I can make sure the sound's okay? Just say hello or something.
Hello?
All right, thank you.
Got it?
Yeah, thank you.
Get the back of all of our heads, that's nice. It's all good.
You put plugs in the middle of the floor.
Well, actually, we had somebody else in here today, they left it set up for us, so.
Cool. If there's anybody in the room that wants to watch this from home, you have somebody at home that wants to watch it, it's Lassen County Unfiltered on YouTube.
Thank you.
Call our meeting to order for the committee. agenda items. So if anybody has anything to speak about, not about any of our agenda items, we do have great discussion during the action on the agenda. So, is there any public comment not regarding agenda items for this evening? Okay, so our next item for discussion tonight, this evening, is racing.
Okay. So, I want to address a couple of things before we open up for public comment. First of all, I know that there's the perception that we don't want racing. And, I just want to make it clear right off the get-go that, if we didn't want racing, we wouldn't put out the first RFP. If we didn't want racing, we wouldn't have reissued an RFP. We all want racing. So the thought that we don't want racing, that's not the case. Second of all, after the public comment in the meeting last Tuesday, there was a lot of questions of why wasn't the bid accepted? Why was it rejected? I'm going to let you know right now that we can have open dialogue tonight, but we are not going to address specifics as to why the bid was not, or why the bid was rejected. The answer you're going to get, and I'll give you the answer right now, is the bid did not meet the criteria set forth in the RFP. I'm sure you all have seen the RFP. The committee did not feel that the bid met the criteria. So that's why. I have talked to county council about what our options are going forward. And since we've had 2 failed RFPs, there is a chance that we can negotiate a contract with an individual or with an organization to promote the races here. That would be a possibility as long as the board of supervisors, they would have to approve a resolution in favor of sole sourcing, is what they call it, based on the findings of 2 failed RFPs. So, that being said, racing is not out. We want racing, and we'd like to hear from you. But that would be the next step, and we would be looking to county council for guidance on that, as well as approval by the board of supervisors. Does the committee have any questions regarding that? Okay. So, according to the agenda, we have, we can open up now for public comment. Public comment is supposed to about racing only, because we've already, we're on that subject. We're supposed to limit those to 5 minutes apiece, and a total of 15 minutes. We will be slightly flexible because we see that there's a number of people here, and since there wasn't public comment about anything else, we're assuming that there's going to be considerable public comment here. So that being said, we'll open it up.
Raina Davis. So you said sole sourcing.
Yes.
Is that somebody that you choose, or is that somebody that applies?
We will make it available to anyone. It would be something that you'd have to call the fair office during regular hours, schedule an appointment, and meet with the fair manager and one of the committee or the president of the advisory board. And then if we can come to terms that will satisfy the needs of the fair and the needs of the potential promoter, we can submit that to the county, and as long as they approve it, then we're set to go.
Okay, so my second question is so everything that's actually in the RFP when you're doing sourcing, then then you're not going to go by RFP anymore, right? That's gone.
Essentially, the RFP is gone. There would be some of the terms in the RFP that we would be able to sit down, and it will give us an opportunity to have dialogue with that person. There will be things in there, as an example, insurance. Insurance is not going to be negotiable by the county. But the other terms of the RFP, and that is just one example, and I don't want to be quoted that that's the only thing that's going to stay the same. The other terms we will be able to negotiate, and we all acknowledge that it's getting late in the year. We may not be able to have 13 races or 10 races. So that's something we acknowledge, and we would be more than willing to work with that. Again, we want racing.
So what RFPs was she short on? If she's expected to put together a proposal for you guys to accept, and doesn't know exactly why you will accept it, what are the things that she neglected to do?
Okay, well, again, we're not going to address anything that has to do with the bid and the individual shortcomings in that bid that we found.
Well, how is somebody supposed to know how to fix the shortcomings?
Again, we would be sitting down and having an open discussion. That would actually be an advantage to having this sort of a situation rather than a bid where the RFP lays out the conditions and the bidder does the best job that they can to address everything.
So what's stopping us from doing that?
We are not discussing why the bid was rejected. I cannot discuss that with you.
And why is that?
Legally, I cannot discuss that with you.
I know, but if I sit here and I say that I want you to, why can't you? Because it was my bid.
Legally, I cannot discuss that.
Who can?
For the final time, we are not going to discuss what.
We're just trying to find out.
What criteria was not met.
We're just
We
trying
are
to
happy
find out what we need to do to fix this. That's all we're trying to find out.
I suggest that you schedule an appointment.
Well, we've done that though.
We have not set a schedule an appointment.
I've scheduled an appointment. Jason scheduled an appointment.
Not-
I scheduled an appointment.
You scheduled one appointment, and we did not discuss why your bid was rejected. You wanted to discuss it. Again, that is not something we're going to discuss. Does somebody have another question other than why the bid was rejected?
Could we try instead talking in general about what you would like to see from, I mean, I know we have the RFP, and so I'm not asking for a direct read off of it, but just hit the major areas, like you hit insurance, I would hit track maintenance, promotion, just hit those areas. And then I think what you're suggesting is we take a look at the presentation that we got and see which parts of those we can add to help the promoter get there. Because that's, even if we're not going to hear today, always check your ringtone. Like I say, my suggestion, just here in interest is, let's hear what those are. Take a look at your proposal. Those of you that maybe it was missing something, he's not going to tell us today, we heard that. Maybe it's something in promotion. Maybe we didn't have something in management that they're going to be concerned about. If you can find folks in the community often that will do, you know, the track maintenance or do parts of it, maybe we get that together. Does that seem like a reasonable, is that kind of what you're suggesting, Bill? Or, sorry to
I didn't quite follow that, David.
I'm just saying, if we have the 6 or 7 areas from the RFP that you think that any promoter, not this promoter, any promoter that we might want should be strong in, you know?
I would suggest that anyone interested, take a look at that RFP. That's going to be the guideline to our negotiation.
Right.
So if
And it's not insurance.
if that promoter has, or potential promoter has a question, having a meeting, an open dialogue, we can come to conclusions on that.
Right.
I don't want to sit here and speculate as far as what kind of questions we might get and what we might have to try to fill in and that sort of thing. So I would suggest that, again, anyone interested, reread that RFP and make sure that, that you're prepared. I'll be as prepared as we can be from our standpoint. And we're open to negotiation. We're open to coming to a solution on this.
We're open to put it forth and see if the county approves it.
Right.
Because our hands are tied to what we can do, but we can put it all forth.
Very,
see
very
what we
well
know. Just like we cannot talk about per bid or any other stuff legally. Not that we don't want to, or we don't want racing, because we can't talk about it.
Desiree Davis. Is there any way, someone asked last meeting, if there was a way that we could do a vote to overturn the rejection? Is that possible?
That's not even a part of the RFP bidding process.
My name is Jason Emmett. I'm a racer in the local community, and so it seems as RFP, null and void, there's no RFP basically anymore. But it was brought up at the Board of Supervisors meeting, and you asked the Board of Supervisors if it was possible, it's what you were just speaking about, if you could do sole sourcing. What was their comment as far as, was that approved that you can go ahead and try and do that? That we can try and find a promoter or a contractor or a group, like you said, at that meeting?
Okay, first of all, that was not something I discussed with the Board of Supervisors. That was a discussion, it was not a meeting, it was a discussion with county council. As
Okay.
far as the process, how do we move forward from here?
Okay.
And, my question was, do we issue a third RFP? Can we meet with individuals that may be interested and see if we can work out a solution that will satisfy everybody's needs? Or do we have to scrap it for a year? And the advice I was given was, since we've had 2 failed RFPs, probably not worthwhile to do it a third time. Sole sourcing and through resolution from the supervisors is an option. Or yes, we can just back away from it for the year. You guys are all here saying you don't want us to do that, and we don't want to do that. So let's move forward with working with Raina or anybody else that is interested in coming up with a workable solution.
Pretty much, we're just to a dead end. We have to set up a meeting to move forward.
Yes.
Any other races?
Yes.
So is that gonna have to be waited until it's posted on the county side?
No, we don't want to wait. No, we don't.
Okay, so somebody can set up a meeting,
Tomorrow morning at 8, our office is vacant.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, our office is vacant.
Actually, we are on winter hours right now. Our office hours are 10 to 3. I am generally there a lot more than that. But let's set up for, if somebody's interested, I welcome a call. Let's get it set up this week. Let's get it set up the first of next week. And because we will have to get on the Board of Supervisors agenda to move forward with it. So, but I want to be able to take them something and say, this is the option, or these are the options. Let's move forward.
Can she put in another proposal?
Absolutely.
They'll build it, is what he's talking about.
Without
They'll take it.
So at this point,
And help
at
you
this
work
point,
forward.
the meeting would be, let's just say Raina came in, right? And you sitting down and saying, this is what we need, and saying, can we get this? So she could sit down and have a meeting and come up with a proposal between you and her that is submitted to the Board of Supervisors. Because
She
definitely,
comes in and says, these are the things that I want, this is what I will provide. We can say, these are the things that we need addressed as well. She can say, okay, well, we can work with that. We can say, okay, we can work with that. This, whatever we come up with works for everybody.
and we just need to forget about the RFP and the shortcomings.
It's done.
Because there's stuff that say that you can't talk about it,
Right.
and it's just a waste of time to ask questions about it. It's not too late to move forward, because IMCA, which is what it will bring a lot of racers here, only requires 8 scheduled races.
And if that's what it takes to make it happen this year, so be it.
Yeah, to be sanctioned by IMC, it only has to be 8 scheduled races. So, I mean, racing season doesn't start until the 1st of April anyway, here. So it's still not too late. And there's already water on the track, so it's, you know.
And I see some good dudes up there, so I know Bill Payer can get some stuff done. He's given a
I'll
chance.
try. So I want it.
We're not really super familiar with the whole sole sourcing thing, so we understand the process to come to an agreement with somebody that works for everybody. Send that off to county council and get it into a contract form, and then present that to the board of supervisors, and then their decision would be made on whether to go with it or not.
Is that kind of the way it goes, David?
I think he's given us a pretty good description.
It's gonna be more or
This is
less.
my understanding, this is brand new as of this week. So, still, that's why we're trying to get to a point where everybody agrees upon everything quickly, so that we can get through this next process as quickly as we possibly can.
Yeah. So we're not familiar with the sole sourcing part. We're just familiar with what the fairgrounds wants for the racetrack.
It's new to us as well, and I appreciate David being here. And
Yeah, no, but you guys described.
Shed any other light on that.
Yeah, no, what you described was pretty clear. The RFP part is supposed to be a fair, like, a chance for anybody that puts in.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that you only had one in both processes stinks, although that's not the first time that's happened.
Zero.
It happened with Oshieska, I think, back in one of those years too. So it's not impossible. And so even this part is a little bit more like the old boys network in that they're inviting you into the back room to talk about how to do it. Like maybe and we'll find out, because when we go in there, they'll tell you, maybe we need a better management component for, either the food or something like that. Or maybe they're interested in how we're gonna keep the track up, because I don't know what your proposal had. But there is an opportunity here, is all I'm saying. It isn't easy. There's a short time frame left to get on like the IMCA. We gotta get on their schedule soon, don't we? Or else we'll miss on that.
Yeah.
But there is an opportunity, and I heard him offer it.
I would encourage anyone interested to contact the office soon.
Call him tomorrow.
Because and I'm just gonna throw it out there, if there was 3 or 4 people that wanted to come in and meet, we're gonna have to have those meetings, and then we're gonna have to present, options.
Well, that's what I was
But
gonna
I
ask.
don't wanna put this off. Time is of the essence.
So that's what I was gonna ask you, when I come in, can I bring like Jason with me?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You don't want
Even though he's not gonna be on the contract, okay, or my couch advisor maybe? Anyone?
And anybody that has experience with it, that can help you with understanding of something and help us with understanding of something. We want to work out something that's going to work.
Okay.
Then more or less this meeting you're talking about, the one-on-one, is more of a give and take to get this scheduled up.
What it does is it doesn't tie our hands to an RFP that's issued that that the bidder has to get all of these lines. And we can discuss things, we can talk things back and forth.
Yeah. And this is only because they did the prior 2 chances. And one person crazy enough, willing to do it. So I appreciate it. It's not easy, it's hard.
Well, I have a question too. How come since Jeff was the only one who put his proposal in, I don't even know if he put one in, how come he got it by default?
I can't speak to that. So that was 6 years ago.
6 years ago, there was a different RFP, and when he submitted his bid, it clearly hit all the boxes and moved to the next level. No, we looked at today, it was 13 pages, it was 19 pages, something like that. It's definitely rewritten and different, it wasn't the same RFP, it was not.
So moving past the RFP, since that's not an issue, Reina's RFP is what was rejected, not Reina.
Absolutely.
So,
If you entered it, the same one.
yes, it
Sorry.
was rejected.
Yes.
So, like I said, we're moving past the RFP, that doesn't need to get brought up anymore, because we're not going by that.
Right.
So what is gonna happen now is whoever comes and meets, you're gonna say, we need 13 races of fair in the 4th of July.
We
And
still
then the
follow the
contractors,
guidelines of
and then,
the RFP as
yeah,
far
and then
as
the contractor's gonna come back and say, well, I can only do 8 races and the fair. 4th of July's out because
We
there's
might say, what if we
fireworks.
want 10?
You know, so that's gonna be like, come back, you know.
That could happen.
Yeah, we're going to do the best we can to meet everybody's needs.
But if you only get 8 or 10
The
races,
number of races, I don't think necessarily.
you'll want
I was
more.
just using that as an example, you know, like a back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
dialogue.
Definitely.
So then, in this meeting, can we figure in the concessions then, or no? Because they were never even in this RFP.
Or why we wouldn't do that.
And when you, well, that's something we can discuss there. I'll have to get verified why it was, or why it was in the case of the RFP, why it was not included.
Okay, because they didn't want a new promoter to have to worry about
Right.
the concession.
If they
That's why
didn't
they
want
never
to,
put
but
it
that bidder
right.
was gonna get.
But there was never an RFP for concessions.
No, they said that, or the lady who was
Sam.
before Sam, she said that if we wanted to put concessions in the bid, then we could. But since it wasn't in the RFP, that it was not mandatory.
And there was nowhere to.
Well, then, that's correct. It was not part of that RFP. I know there was an RFP for concessions that was, written pending approval of this RFP. So, I would have to say no, that this, concessions would not be a discussion in regards to the race contract. That would, if we have a successful, race contract, then that RFP would have to go out for the concessions. And of course, anybody, would be welcome to bid for that.
And if it failed twice, then you could do the same.
And we're back to the.
All over.
Exactly.
Is that just a new rule now? Just,
It's stuff that was already set up that I'm walking into, and we've got to stick by that, at least through this bid cycle.
okay.
Any other questions?
When's the earliest that we can call you tomorrow to set up a meeting?
What's your cell phone number? Where do you live?
Yeah.
How about, let's set it right now.
Yeah, we want the earliest meeting tomorrow.
Call tomorrow and we'll get something set up for either Thursday or Friday.
All right.
I've got meetings tomorrow too, so tomorrow.
No problem. All right, thank you.
Okay? Any other questions or concerns? We're going to move on to the rest of the agenda. You're welcome to hang around. We can talk about fair concessions and picnic tables. David, stay for picnic tables. Jeff wants picnic tables.
I have 2 booths already, right down Main Street, one in Janesville. That's my booth. 7 days a week.
Hey, you can see a little bit.
And that's, I have to, but I couldn't get it. But it's still, if I turn down, it's the game, right? So if I turn down the game, then you can't do the person tomorrow.
Get on it. How much influence do you have? It's not that you don't.
He signed my wife's shirt.
So if you guys are actually interested in anything else in the proceedings, come on out and keep yelling. Or you guys can go.
Jeff, why didn't you speak up? Say, hey, I really don't care with the race. Homeless place. Well, I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So this morning I had 27. Hey, good, how are you? I'm doing live on Facebook, or on YouTube. So Lassen County Unfiltered, and I've been doing the county meeting.
Supervisors meetings.
Are they already talking about it?
Yeah, I think they're in the meeting. Do you need to do that?
I'm trying.
See you later.
Yeah, we could definitely look into it. Another suggestion that was thrown out there, and I don't know if it could be a standalone event or even in conjunction with Dirty, but I had a couple of people talk to me about side-by-side railroad. It sounds like a racket itself.
Well, they do that, and they do a passenger, no blindfold, and driver blindfold, that we slow down.
Yeah. So I mean, we have some other options, like we have some options that we can put together fairly quickly if we can't progress. I'm hoping something comes to fruition there, and we can move forward with that. Yeah, James Montgomery is still interested in doing radio